Hi guys, happy Friday. I hope you've had a wonderful week and are getting ready to have a fun and exciting weekend. Let's get some oracle cards and see what spirit wants you to know at this time. Okay, so the first one that we have is move away from a difficult situation. So with these energies, I'm hearing help is on the way. So it feels like efforts that you've been putting in to change your life, to up level in some way, to strive for those bigger goals and dreams for yourself, your hard work has gotten noticed by people who have certain keys in terms of influence, resources, different skills that want to come in and partner with you, want to come in and collaborate with you, want to open some of those stubborn doors that you've been knocking on in vain, or you've been trying to kind of, pay your dues or prove yourself in some sort of way. It feels like the road ahead is going to get easier for you because there's going to be people that are going to be ushering you in. Your name speaks volumes for itself. It feels like you have a very good reputation. You've established that for yourself, or you're getting ready to cross paths with someone who is going to really like what you bring to the table, what you do, what you have to say, the vibe that you give off, who you are as a person. And so they're going to kind of go that extra mile to make sure that opportunities find you, that you are placed in the right environment professionally, personally, or in other areas of your life. Because it feels like for a lot of you, you've been working in circumstances where your full talents or your full potential hasn't really had the opportunity to shine. You've been overlooked, you've been overworked and underbooked, you've been kind of unnoticed, sort of the unsung hero in your circumstance or your situation. It feels like all of that is about to change. You're going to get noticed by the right person, and it's kind of like, wow, this individual's been hiding in plain sight all along. How could someone have overlooked this person? How could someone have fumbled this person? What is this person doing in the basement stacks when they ought to be showcased out in the front lines, out for everyone to see? So this can tie into a raise, into a promotion, or into an opportunity that helps you step away from like a dead-end situation, a job that you don't like, but you stick with it because you got to pay the bills, you got to make ends meet. Circumstances where you feel like you just can't get a break, you're just not getting noticed in some sort of way, and you've really been trying to put yourself out there and push yourself, be your own cheerleader or kind of motivate yourself and move forward without really being celebrated for all that you are and all that you bring to the table. All of that is about to change, and there's a sense of people raising their glasses to cheer you on, celebrating you and acknowledging you more than just giving you your props or, giving you those compliments or, the thumbs up and that feedback that you're doing a really good job. This is tangible and material acceleration. This is something where, you're being brought up to a whole other level or tier based on your experience up to this point in time, or again, certain aspects about you or, the arena that you've been in professionally or personally, where you've just not kind of gotten the credit that you deserve. You've not been celebrated in all the ways that you need to be. So it feels like there's some very powerful eyes that are on you at this point in time, or a group of people who are getting ready to approach you with some kind of offer, some kind of opportunity, or even as you kind of keep plugging away, doing what you're doing, this is almost the energy of like, don't give up hope, because you're about to kind of come in front of the right person or the right people that can really help you take things to the next level as far as reaching those dreams and goals. Okay, and we also have take action. Yeah, so this is something where, you've kind of been the solo operator. You've been the star of your own show. You've been somebody who has, tried to kind of just put your nose to the grindstone, do what you need to do, kind of like stuff down that frustration and, that sense of kind of like, when's it going to be my turn? You've been really good as far as like cheering other people on, giving other people their flowers, being a really good team player or good participant participant, even though it feels like you haven't gotten the accolades that you deserve, or your success has been slow in coming. And this is somebody who sees that. They see the hard work that you put in. They see the dedication. And this is something where they are very enthusiastic to get you on their team, to get you in the right position where you're going to thrive. You're going to step into a season of prosperity and abundance. And it doesn't just help you, it helps other people as well. This person or this group of people that's getting ready to approach you, or even kind of larger goals or agendas or prerogatives that this group or this person may have, something that may benefit your community, your niche, your industry. There's a sense that you're a very valuable player, you're a very valuable person. And just because people before hadn't seen that, hadn't kind of like known what to do with you and everything that you brought to the table, you're getting close to the end of that being the case. Instead of being overlooked, this is something where you're about to be overbooked. So someone getting ready to take action and, present you with an offer, present you with an opportunity, or even kind of through word of mouth, sort of drawing in a bigger or different kind of crowd of people around you, people that are movers and shakers, people that have the ability, to join forces with you, to combine resources, or kind of enter into things that would be like group effort that will accelerate and enhance kind of your progress in life, as well as these other individuals. Yeah, and we have seeking the wisdom of your shamanic guides. So this is the energy that you are looked at as a very wise person, as a very capable person, as a very confident person and a competent person. And there's almost the essence of people kind of scratching their head and like, how is this person overlooked? How is this person not, swooped up? How are they not given certain offers or opportunities? What was kind of missing, or what was lacking in people before that they couldn't see all this potential and didn't kind of go that extra mile to sort of collaborate with this person, to help this person, to make like an easier road forward. There's a sense of somebody or a group of people feeling that like other people's mistakes or the way that you've been overlooked, that's their loss and it's these individuals' gain. So if you've been moving again in this kind of like lone wolf energy, you've been a self-starter, you've been self-sustaining, you've been kind of, feeding all your energy into a dream or into a goal or into a pursuit or even some kind of passion project, and kind of pushing and telling yourself like, I don't know how much longer I can do this on my own, but I got to keep going. I've come this far and I can't give up now. All of that stamina, all of that determination, all of those skills that you've kind of perfected and honed, you're about to be celebrated for those things. This is the opportunity for a lucky break. For something that isn't just sort of, oh, you were in the right place at the right time, or, you cross paths with the right person. It's like you've paid your dues. You've put in this hard work. If anyone deserves this kind of like helping hand, or being acknowledged again beyond just sort of compliments or positive feedback, this is something that like materially enhances your experience in some sort of way, then it's you. Like if anyone is deserving of this opportunity, it is you. We also have return from the underworld, engage with life. Yeah, so this is again the energy of being celebrated as someone who's been working very hard behind the scenes. You've been, kind of doing that heavy lifting. You've been doing the impossible. A lot of people would have given up a long time ago on something that you've been kind of toiling at, or there's a sense of people almost getting kind of upset or angry or frustrated. Like, why isn't this person in a better position? Why didn't anyone offer this person an opportunity? Why didn't they get a contract? Why didn't they get a raise? Why didn't they get a promotion? There's a sense of it being very apparent that unless something changes, you're not going to stick around. Either it's going to, you're going to burn out in this industry or in whatever this endeavor is, and you're going to have to kind of look elsewhere, and then it'll be a big loss for that industry. This may be something even with like an employer, like another employer, another company, another group, another person is getting ready to kind of approach you and ask you to come over to them, ask you to come over and join them while there's still the opportunity for that. Because there's a sense of like, you've been going it alone this long, you've kind of accomplished what you have without the proper respect, without the proper accolades, without the proper support, without that proper kind of like rank and title given to you, and there's a sense of kind of like, we need to take advantage of this like in a very positive way while there's still the opportunity to do that, because somebody like you, with as much as you've been kind of like going it alone or kind of just, working in the shadows kind of behind the scene, not only is it not something that other people are kind of seeing as unfair, and unfortunate, but it's also something that they're seeing like a ripe opportunity here. Sort of like, if somebody else missed this, if this has been something that's been overlooked the whole time, we're not just going to kind of let this pass us by, because we're seeing something that other people couldn't see, and that's their loss and our gain. And we also have run wild for a while. Yeah, so this is again that energy of getting ready to have some kind of transition, some kind of shift as far as your professional circumstances, something that really makes you celebrate because you are celebrated. So this is going to be something that's like a life-changing experience for you, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Definitely something where it feels like there's going to be some sort of pressure to act upon it, but only because it's kind of like that dream job, that dream scenario, or it might even be something totally out of the box where you hadn't even considered this as far as something to kind of use your skills or, use your credentials, use your experience for. And so with that, it's almost a sense of like, you're being approached or you're going to be approached, but it's not going to be like, okay, you got 24 hours to decide. It's not going to be like high pressure sales. There's going to be a sense of like, sit with this, think about it, take the weekend, take the week. This position is here for you. This opportunity is yours if you want to take it. So it really puts you in kind of a control position where you're going to be sort of the master of this next phase or evolution for yourself. You're going to be the one that is, kind of closing the door towards something else, a way of life, a version of yourself, something professionally that you're doing, or like a particular phase that you were at in your career, or in something that you've been trying to like bring out into the world, something you've been trying to birth, something you've been trying to create. There will be the opportunity to kind of wrap up those loose ends, or, kind of leave with your grace and dignity intact. For some of you though, this is going to be like this opportunity or offer comes in and you're like, okay, yeah, forget about whatever else I had going on. I'm out of there. I don't even care about burning that bridge because, I was being used for a long time. I was being overlooked for a long time. I really don't care if, they think highly of me or they think poorly of me. I want out of that circumstance. And so you're going to take that leap of faith forward. For others of you though, it's going to be like, okay, well, let me kind of give these people notice. Let me give them time. Let me give them the opportunity to find a replacement. It feels like whatever it is, the previous person, the previous employer, the previous circumstance, on their best day, they couldn't offer you even kind of a fraction, a hint or a glimmer of what this sort of new opportunity, new environment, new circumstance, new faces that you'll be around, new crowd of people, new kind of like income bracket even. Like the previous people, they can't compete with that. They can't offer you something comparable. And there may almost be the sense of like, you didn't see my value and worth before. It takes me kind of getting a better offer for you to sort of try to step up and, do your little song and dance, and maybe I'll stick around, because we have memories, because I've been here for so long, yada, yada, yada. There's a sense that is going to pale in comparison to kind of whatever else is inviting you in. And so there's a sense that for some of you, it'll just be kind of like, you may face a lot of jealousy from whatever you're stepping away from. People that, become haters. They're envious. They're, kind of giving you the evil eye, giving you the stink eye. Like, why is it you? Why not us? Why is this happening for you? And, why didn't I think of that? And it's that's just kind of noise. It's nothing that can kind of derail, what you're stepping into in any sort of way, and just demonstrates kind of the pettiness, and the short-sightedness of the people that you were dealing with before, that it didn't have to turn out this way, but it did, because they didn't value you, they didn't celebrate you, they didn't see your worth, they kind of kept you down low while they sort of climbed higher. And so there's a sense that for a lot of you, it's kind of going to be, a parting of the ways where you're not going to want to look back, you're not going to really be concerned about sort of, keeping those amicable connections open, because whatever this is like a very positive change for you. And if you were overlooked up to this point in time and you're having to step away from something, it's probably better that you kind of just make your exit, because it feels like the people from the past or whatever circumstance you were in, they may kind of pretend to be happy for you. It feels like a lot of people won't. You may kind of get the cold shoulder, but it's really their loss, it's your gain at this particular point in time. And so wherever you're kind of being noticed, or you're about to be sort of honed in on as a valuable asset, as a valuable presence, as somebody that really, contributes to a team or has something to offer, and you're going to be kind of paid or compensated accordingly to that. That's what you really need to focus on. That's the thing that is, kind of incentivizing. That's the place where, your highest good and your best life really resides. So this can be that dream job, that big opportunity, something that really, kind of signals stepping away from a whole life entirely and into something else, stepping into a new version of you, new opportunities, new options for yourself, a different kind of horizon that you're aiming towards, or different types of considerations that you're able to have in terms of other long-term goals and dreams that might have seemed something a little more attainable, or like, you'd have to plan kind of decades down the road for these things, but you're going to be able to kind of reach those other goals and dreams a lot sooner, because of this acceleration, because of this step up. So, you'll kind of have a fan club of people that are like, well, why wasn't it me? Why them and why not me? But it's again, kind of just noise in the background. Whatever you're getting ready to step into, this is the place where you'll be celebrated. This is the place where you will be seen. This is the place where your talents can really be showcased. This is the place where you will be encouraged and invited to shine in your fullest expression. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you'd like a personal reading, there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another video. Please take care and be well.